Hello, my name is Paul Hearn, and this is the third in a series of videos on formatting, and in this video we're going to look at formatting numbers. Now we're going to be using the basic formatting spreadsheet that's been provided for you by your lecturer, so if you want to open that spreadsheet. And this one will be using the Format Numbers workbook. So here's our data set. I want to add commas to separate the thousands and millions and so on. So select the data, go up to my shortcut and select the comma separator. Now if I have a larger number, and I'm going to add some zeros to this number. Now you can see we have commas separating our millions and our thousands and so on. In addition to using our shortcut tool here, we can also right click, highlight the column, right click, and we can format cells here and select number. And then here I can do the same, so I can add my thousand separator, decide the number of decimal places and so on. So in this cell we have a series of digits after the decimal point. So if we want to reduce that and round the number, then we can use our decrease and increase decimal options here. It's important to note that when we reduce the number of digits after the decimal point, that information is not being lost. Excel retains that information. So if I have two numbers here, say 5.1 and 5.2, and now I just round those numbers, I'm going to do an addition now of the 5 and 5, so I'd say equals the contents of that cell plus the contents of that cell, and we will be doing formulas in a later video. Now that looks like it has actually just ignored the numbers that I initially or originally had after the decimal point. But if I take that number and increase the number of numbers after the decimal point, then we can see that it's actually stored those numbers and it's done the addition correctly. But it's also used the same format that I've used for the contents of these two cells in the result. Okay, percentages are really, they are decimal points, they're decimal numbers multiplied by 100. So if I want to change these to percentages, I can right click, format cells, and click on percentage here. And that will change that to a percentage and give me the decimal places and so on. A simpler way to do that is to select our cells and click on the percentage sign. Now it's just worth noting that if, for example, you have data and you represent a percentage, say that could be 20%, then later on you decide to format that cell as a percentage and you click on percentage, it will actually multiply that number by 100. So you just need to be a bit careful about how you represent percentages in a spreadsheet. So as a rule of thumb, if you're going to have a cell or set of cells as a percentage, then really you should format that cell prior to putting any data in. So now we're going to look at the way we can display negative numbers. Now very often in mathematics we just have a negative number with a minus sign in front of it, but in accounting we often have the negative number displayed as just a positive number with brackets around it, and that is actually a negative number. So to do that, I highlight the cells that I want to display in that format. Right click, click on Format Cells, click on Custom. And I'm going to have to customize one of these existing customizations. So I click on, I'm going to also display it as a red number. And we can see this is one with a minus sign on it. So if you look for one like that in your customization, what I'm going to do now is take away that minus sign and put brackets around the hash symbols. And once I do that, then the number is displayed inside brackets. If I didn't want it to be red, then I would choose another option that doesn't have the color red. So if I format the cells, and that's the one I just created. So I just take the red away from that. And click OK, and that's now just displayed as black. It's really up to you how you want to display your negative numbers, and that is really within your organization. How would you like to do that within a spreadsheet? So now we've looked at how to put in commas, how to change the number of decimal points after your number, how to add a percentage sign, and how to display negative numbers.